one. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to GTM, available only on Nordrassil Radio. I am your host, Crazed as always, and today I'm joined by my co-hosts, Sam and Texas. How are you guys doing?
Good. Well, just fine.
You're a bit slow on the uptake, gentlemen.
Sorry.
Alrighty. So this is our Christmas episode.
Yay, Christmas.
This means we get to horse around and do silly voices. A little bit like this.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have the person from the new Batman movie, Bane, with us. How do you feel, Bane?
Oh, my ankles are a little bit sore, actually. I've been jogging.
Yeah, they are. Alright.
This is what Joe come to.
Only when you chuckle from severe laughter do you have my permission to die.
So, Bane, how do you feel about the new Batman movie?
I feel like I was killed by some skank in tight latex, so pretty bad, actually.
Don't we all, Bane? Don't we all?
Not really.
Oh. Okay, then.
Now we have the most derailed show on all of Nordrassil Radio. It's our fault. Anyhow, let's actually talk about the games we've been playing for the weekend, shall we? So, Texas, what have you been playing since you've got your computer fixed and ready to go?
Team Fortress 2, what else?
Okay, well, you are just lame and boring in every stretch of the imagination, so we'll move on to Sam. Sam, please tell me you've been playing something.
Minecraft, Black Ops Zombies, and Half-Life 2.
Half-Life 2? Ooh, that came out of the blue.
Yeah.
Well, zombies.
Have you been playing the arcade version or the Xbox version, or the PC version?
I played on my Mac.
Ah.
Yeah.
Don't make a Mac joke. Please don't make a game Mac joke.
I was just about to. I was like putting the cat or the thing up to my mouth to like do the Bane voice, and then you said that. It's like, you are Val's reckoning. Yeah.
As soon as Steam comes to Linux, I'm moving there. I'm switching away from Windows forever.
How can you tell if someone likes Linux? Oh, don't worry, they'll tell you. Jesus. It's like that with everybody. It's like, oh, Linux is the best platform ever. It's like, okay. Really.
It's not that I never actually tried Linux. It's just I'm just so bloody tired of Windows. It's bringing so much problems.
I like my Mac.
You don't like Internet Explorer 8? No, I'm kidding. Windows 8. Anyhow, that's all you guys have been playing. Actually, I shouldn't even talk. I haven't been doing that much else either. What have I played for the week? I have played DayZ. Oh, guess what else? DayZ. I played some Civ 5 as well.
You said to me you didn't like roguelikes.
Yeah, I don't know. I just like DayZ, okay? I don't know what I'm talking about. I think people would accept by now that I come onto the show and just say things that mean nothing, okay? Jeez. But yeah, I was playing DayZ. I played some Sid Meier's Civ 5. I played some Guild Wars 2, and by played I meant I created a character and then I quit. What else did I do? I played about 10 minutes of the Elder Scrolls Skyrim. So that was truly an in-depth gaming experience right there, ladies and gentlemen.
Have you heard of the guy that made it? Had the 100 mods on his game.
Yeah, I did. I don't know how he did it.
It looks amazing.
It does look amazing. And I also played Mountain Blade, Warband, Napoleonic Warfare. Still
you never played
awesome
native anymore. What's wrong with you?
Huh?
You never play native anymore. What's wrong with you? Native, you can actually aim.
Yeah, so what? I prefer the melee combat in Napoleonic Warfare, honestly. It feels more epic. What? It feels more grand. Yes, I do.
You can have
because in native, all it is like, hey, look at me, I swing faster, and you can actually block, and even if I hit you once, you're dead. Like, what the shit?
Well, you suck at it.
Yes, I do suck at it. Thank you for pointing it out. The only class I like in native is the guy running around with a crossbow. I am awesome with the crossbow, but if a guy gets like within spitting distance of me, I'm dead. Unless I can barrel stuff that poor son of a bitch with a crossbow, then we are hooched. And, you know,
I guess you could say he was Crazed reckoning. Yes.
I see what you did there.
The thing
I'm
is,
glad you see that.
well, we're talking
a
about
4-year-old with ADD could have seen that, but I'm glad you saw it.
While we're talking about Mountain Blade, the thing is, I've seen about when you talk about the Mountain Blade, it's going to be compared to Chivalry and War of the Roses. But
no, I don't really think so, because nobody gives a damn about Mountain Blade anymore, and really it's just going to be War of the Roses getting compared to Chivalry.
yes, but
I mean, let's face it, that's legitimately what it is. Like, when they were first released, I mean, you had, like, Total Biscuit comparing the two, just to stop the argument.
no, he almost always and then compared it to Mountain Blade, because Mountain Blade is the biggest medieval combat game out there. It's been for ages.
Yeah,
and
that's pretty fair, though. I mean, like, because War of the Roses was inspired by Mountain Blade.
Yeah.
Like, it's very obvious there. I mean, like, the combat system is almost exactly identical, except a little bit more bloody and visceral.
Yeah. And it's one thing, I've watched both of the videos of both of the games, and none of them really have the scale that Mountain Blade have. Because
Yeah, no.
none of them really, you can never really take over a castle in Chivalry. Not really, because
As much as we wish we could.
yeah, in Mountain Blade you can have these step ladders to shoot cannons and all that. It's amazing.
Yeah, in Mountain Blade you play like some Napoleonic warfare. You'll have like a line group of like 50 men just firing away. You go into War of the Roses or Chivalry, I mean, it's still fairly bloody and visceral, but it's an entirely different genre of game. It is small combat is essentially what it is, where
it's a same genre, but they have done it differently. The difference is very clear what they do.
yeah.
So Sam,
yeah.
have you played
We'll have to
Mountain
see.
Blade?
Yes,
Sam, have you played Mountain Blade?
Sorry, what's that? Let's do something. What's going on?
Have you played Mountain
masturbating.
Blade?
Nope. That's why I just sat here quietly. I'm like, I'll let these do thing.
You should be ashamed of yourself.
If you have some money left over, Mountain Blade Warband is super cheap. You can just buy it. It's pretty damn fun.
I have a
This is by
Mac.
Chivalry. Yeah, he has a Mac. Like, I mean, there's one thing we all need to be aware of here is that I'm pretty sure a Mac can only. Yeah, it's like if you have a Mac, you limit about the size of the games you can have from about 1 million to 10.
Mountain Blade
standard,
exists Macs and Linux, and all the previous systems play on the same server. So we will play.
I was
against
not
Mac
aware Mountain Blade was compatible with Mac. Now he has to buy it. If he doesn't, I will have to hurt him.
I'll give it a
Enjoy
try.
knowing that information there, Sam.
Okay. You're gonna
It
fly
is
all the way
pretty
from
safe.
Saskatchewan. Come and kill me.
Yeah, I'm gonna come from down from Saskatchewan and with my attack moose. Don't forget that part. The attack moose
I
is
got an
very
attack.
important.
Bring it on.
You got an attack duck.
And I'll stick
Surely,
Daisy on you.
I have an attack moose. I call him Reginald. Why? I have no idea. I have a sense of humor like that. And then, yes, they will duel.
Hmm.
I'm not sure what happens when the victor comes up because he's probably gonna have no limbs, but you know.
It's all good. All good.
Yeah. So is your duck like a horse-sized duck or like 100 duck-sized horses?
I don't know why, but he stopped growing at like a month, so he's got like a disability or something. I don't know what's going on with him.
So you call him Derp Duck?
No, his name's Gary.
Oh, okay.
Probably after the guy from Pokemon, because we all hated that guy. He came from
Alrighty.
Gary came in the most worst times all the time when all the Pokemons were there except for Pikachu. Then Gary came on and was like, "Hey, I'm gonna fight you."
Wait. You mean to tell me Bulbasaur was dead? And Squirtle? Squirtle wasn't dead. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. Okay, let's hop right into the news because that's really the only thing we do on this show. So,
Except for
our
ranting
main
about
article.
stuff. Or except
Yeah,
when
instead
we
of
listen to
ranting.
Crazed rant about stuff. We don't prostitute.
Oh, you'll get to listen. You'll get to listen to me rant the second I start talking about the War Z because of how monumentally
Okay,
terrible
don't stop
it is.
talking, please. We don't want to hear you rant. You've done it
The
5,000
entire show
times.
revolves around me ranting. You don't get to stop it. Alrighty, so let's talk about the War Z, shall we, ladies and gentlemen? We talked about this about 3 weeks ago, where I was mentioning how Devin H had went onto the forums and was basically calling out the War Z and saying how monumentally terrible it is. A couple days after that, he released a video that sounded like he had a gun put to his head. I will say that. It sounded like he had a gun put to his head, basically saying how everything he said about the War Z was false and that he takes it all back. Now, I had released a video about that too, basically saying how if I was the War Z, I would say to Devin H, take back everything you said or we're going to sue you.
Huh.
Yeah.
Wow.
But with that said, let's actually talk about the new shitstorm that has revolved around the War Z, shall we? So, the War Z, they had this little problem where everybody officially said they were money whoring. So it all started when the War Z was released on Steam just about a week and a half ago, yeah? And the main problem came in with how they were promising features that weren't actually there, which if you don't know is illegal. So again, they broke the law right there. So, they promised key features. For example, 2 modes of play, normal and hardcore, nothing suspicious there. Combination of first-person and third-person perspectives, again, nothing suspicious there. Meld of PvE player versus environment and PvP player versus player, again, nothing suspicious there. Here's where the problem comes in. In fact, it appears they updated it, because what it used to be was they promised a ton of things that weren't there. For example, they say now 40 to 100 players per game server. This is incorrect. When they released the key features, they said that you can have 100 players up to in a server, when really all they allowed for was 50 players in a server. They also promised multiple maps, each ranging from 100 to 400 square kilometers. They only have one map, and it's Colorado, and it's only about 75 square kilometers. Again, they lied. But those were really the 2 main infringements that they brought up in the War Z Steam page. The main problem comes in is when they... Sam? Okay, so Sam's social life is coming in now. Anyhow, moving on from that, I will continue with what I was saying. The main problem comes in with when they start lying about it. They said that that was not actually true, and everything that was on that Steam page is actually correct. But as you can see, it's been changed. If you actually go to the War Z's page right now, you can't buy the game anymore because Steam took it off after the public outcry, but all the features there are actually changed. Anyhow, though, the main problem was when they started censoring people, and they started... I don't even know where to start with this. It's just a mound of, like, awful with what they have done here. So I'm basically going to just start with what they did. I have this massive list of things they did right here. Okay, so the major one is War Z has officially been removed from Steam. All the game's page remains. You aren't able to purchase anything. Blah, 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 blah. The original post was the War Z devs have repeatedly just released a patch which proves their quick money grabbing and game breaking schemes. If you're wondering what this was, it was all those features that I just talked about there that were not on the Steam page and were actually false. But they added a ton of new stuff where it is Steam users are reporting the following. They actually increased the respawn timer from 1 hour to 4 hours. If you don't know, when you die in the War Z, your character takes 1 hour to respawn, except now it has been changed to 4 hours. But it's okay because they added a revive button where you can spend 50 gold coins, which you actually have to pay real money to buy, to revive them instantly. Additionally, they are now forcing you to sign the terms of service, which I will include is stolen entirely from League of Legends. I wish I was kidding. They copy and pasted their terms of service from League of Legends. If you actually go look into their terms of service, you will see http://www.leagueoflegends.com/TOS. Yeah. But they are now forcing you to sign the terms of service to play the game, which includes disallowing refunds. You cannot go through Steam to ask for a refund because it will take you to the War Z page, and once you have done that, because you've signed the terms of service, it basically says you cannot get a refund from their website. So you're stuck in this paradox where you can't get your money back. Oh,
Jesus.
But oh wait, there's more. Oh, don't worry,
Okay.
There's even more. There's even more. You thought I was done, didn't you? You thought I was done. No. Because it's gaining popularity, there's been even more things. Okay, here's the actual thing for the War Z Steel's League of Legends TOS, and the actual War Z FAQ where they lied the FAQ where they lied about a good deal of the stuff they had was, listen to this. The FAQ, the question says, who's hosting the game servers? The answer says, we're handling hosting and management of all game servers. We are not relying on players to buy and install and host game servers in order to connect and enjoy the game. But then look at the second question. Will I be able to host or rent my own private server? The answer says, yes, not only that, you'll be able to rent a game server from inside the user interface without leaving the game. But wait! I thought they just said up at the top, they are not relying on players to buy and install host game servers. Anyhow, moving on from that though, it even goes on. You'll be able to choose server settings, configure things like public or private, password protection, allocate a certain number of slots for your friends and clan members. But let's not forget that when War Z was released on Steam, if you were a Steam user, you could not actually buy or rent your own server. It wasn't allowed. It was not a feature in the game. But they continue to go on. The next question, the third question says, what is the limit of players per server? The answer says, when renting a server, you'll be able to choose between a predefined number of player slots. The lowest number of players per server is 70. Incorrect, by the way. The lowest number of players per server, there isn't one. And the maximum is 250. That is incorrect. The maximum number of players you can get on a server is 100 currently. It used to be 50. Until Outcry was that loud, or that large. And then they ask about lag, and really there's no point in talking about lag, except for the fact that the game doesn't render in properly.
We can all agree this is Crazed's favorite game.
Oh yeah, I love this game. I would have babies with this game if I possibly could. Anyhow, but let's not forget, there's even more! I bet you were wondering about the map. Well, you probably weren't wondering at all, you probably just listened to me rant, but that's regardless, that's beside the point. So, you know how I said they only have one map, and it's Colorado, and they say it is 75 square kilometers?
Yeah.
Well, do I have a deal for you? There is an article on PC Games Network. The actual article says, how big is the War Z's map? So now we know that the War Z only has one map, despite Hammerpoint having initially advertised multiple maps of between 100 and 400 square kilometers each. That's fine. A misunderstanding has been corrected. The store page now correctly lists just one map, Colorado, though Hammerpoint still claims that it's 100 square kilometers in area. It certainly doesn't feel that big, so it's probably wise to check. Would you like to know how big the War Z's map really is? 50 square kilometers or 75 square kilometers? It's around 10 square kilometers. Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah. I'm choosing every opportunity to rant about this game and how terrible it is. So let's go on, shall we? It is said to be roughly certainly nowhere close to 100 square kilometers. The actual map itself, it gives you about access to about 50% of, that's probably even pushing it, 45% of the actual map that it gives you in War Z is actually playable in. So the actual map that you can go around in is about 10 square kilometers in total. Yeah. I will actually link to this article in the chat so people can see how we did the math. I'm not going to read through everything because that'd just be silly. So there it is.
Okay.
Only when they are taken from Steam do they have my permission to die.
God damn. We need someone to do the Batman voice.
What Batman voice? You're talking about this Batman voice? Where is he? Where's the detonator? Tell me where is he? Only then do you have permission to die. My favorite one is, you've given them everything, Batman. Not everything. Not my hockey pads. Oh, God. Anyhow, back to seriousness.
You serious?
Incredibly serious, as I think you will aware of. Yes, quite.
There's no such thing as serious.
Stop with that voice.
I like how you can actually hear the cup going down. Like, totally did that voice legitimately. Not a cup in the background. Oh, God. Just wait, Master Wayne. Takes a little while to get back into the swing of things. I can't do Alfred's voice. Can't do his voice one bit.
but I can do Bang's voice, yes, quite, because it's an incredibly easy voice to breathe out of, incredibly easy voice to emulate. Yes, yes.
You're 100% not crazy. I swear. Well, crazed. Well,
Okay.
crazed, 'cause he's crazy.
It goes without saying. It goes without saying. Anyhow, so there's even more. There's
Oh,
even
no.
more to this. Oh my god. So this actually continued to the point where the Steam forums were actually getting censored by the Hammerpoint developers. What you would do is if you went onto the Steam forums and actually did any sort of criticism or complaint against the game, you would be banned from the forums. You wouldn't be kicked, you'd be banned. It was ridiculous. It was here was the actual article here. It says, it seems a community manager on the WarZ forums is now a moderator on the Steam community hub for WarZ. Most posts that criticize the game were removed and people were banned. The new rules say that you cannot mention hackers, that you cannot talk about refunds, not allowed to make a post saying why you stopped playing the game. The rules are general enough and are set up so anything negative about the game can be removed and have you banned from the forums. This type of censorship is just pouring salt in the wound. A day ago there were warnings telling people why the game was bad and should be avoided. So if you go to the actual Steam community right here, it will give you the list of what you can and cannot say. But oh, my favorite part is at the very bottom. Caps lock, cannot use that. Do not post threads asking to become a moderator, blah 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 blah. Do not post I quit playing this game threads. No trolling, blatant posts of which intent to anger users. No hacker threads, period. Nothing related to hacking, hackers, or hacks. If it has the word hacker in it, don't make it. So if you're complaining that there's a hacker in the game, you can't talk about it. No referring to people as Care Bears or trolls or fanboys, and it is forbidden to sell any items or any form of real currency. This will result in a forum ban as well as an in-game account ban. Now I love that last point where it's like, no, it is forbidden to sell any items for any form of real currency. Yeah, the users can't do it, just Hammerpoint. Even though you already bought the game. But there's more! you think I'm done, don't you? No, there's more! Okay, so the guy who wrote the Reddit article that I was talking about just a while ago, he released updates. His first update is, he was banned from the Steam forums for actually talking about it. The second point is, a user named Thunderbridge makes a great comment below on how they are working their money system. And how about, instead of refund posts are not allowed on the forums, you must submit a support ticket at support.thewarz.com and have your case reviewed. And if you go through there, you won't be able to get your refund. Number 3, user Winston Box Feathers, truly the greatest name ever, finds a post by the developers blaming the users for the multiple different ways to interpret their false advertising. And if you think I'm kidding, no, the article's right here. It is a Steam post on the WarZ forums. Steam purchase page issues by Mr. Sergey Titov himself, the executive producer of WarZ. So, he goes on to say, as you all know, we launched the game on Steam yesterday. Okay, we're #1 top grossing game on Steam right now. Thank you guys for your support, because you know controversy sells. At the same time, it was clear that there were a number of customers that felt the information about the game was presented in a way that could have allowed for multiple interpretations. That's not true at all. There was no room for multiple interpretations. That is absolutely false. How do you incorrectly interpret multiple maps with 100 to 400 square kilometers? There's no way to interpret that incorrectly. Anyhow, we've taken steps to correct this end format information presented on our Steam store page in a way so it provides more clear information about game features that are present in the Foundation release and what to expect in the coming weeks. Now keep in mind that very original Foundation release is the exact same name of the patch that was made for WarZ, or not WarZ, DayZ. Oh god. He goes on to say, we also want to extend our apologies to all players who misread information about game features. That is bullcrap. There was no misreading of information. You just lied to your consumer base, the people who would buy your game.
And no one has signed a document of suing these bastards?
I'm not even sure if you can. People really should. What they did was illegal. It was illegal. Lying to your consumer base, promising features that are not there is illegal.
They're not stationed in US, EU, are they? They
I
are
have
from,
no
they are
idea where
US company.
Hammerpoint is stationed. I will check right now. Hammerpoint Industries. I'm assuming would be them.
If this
Hammerpoint
stays,
Interactive. Let's
if they
see,
come
where
from
is
you,
Hammerpoint
oh,
Interactive
they're absolutely
based?
sued.
Yeah, Hammerpoint Interactive, blah 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 blah. Hammerpoint Interactive was formed in 2011 by a team of experienced developers looking to create a fresh experience in the online multiplayer area. Does it tell me where they are from, though? No, it doesn't tell you where the actual company is from. I'm sure I could find it if I spent more time looking for it, but I'm not going to do that. That's too much time with the show taken up.
Well, if they come from
45
you,
minutes ain't
their
bad.
asses will be sued by government, actually. Because that's highly
I
illegal
wish they
in every
would.
respect.
Ah,
Like
God.
the government
But
itself
anyhow.
goes coming. No guys, you're getting shut down. If you don't, if you
Yeah.
don't
Yeah, anyhow, so the next point the guys make is there is actually a way to avoid the terms of service in the War Z. So if you've had the displeasure of buying the game, if you hit decline on the terms of service after the game patches, the client will close. You can then simply reboot the client and the terms of service will not show up. He has yet to hit accept and the terms of service since the game launched. He's not sure if it works with a Steam version, but regardless, it's worth a try to anybody who has actually bought this game if you haven't already clicked the terms of service, because it's a pile of crap. The next thing he says is, a truly shocking GameSpy interview shows the terrible developer logic in action. Now, this is after Valve got the WarZ product removed from Steam. Why Valve let it on the game in the first place without actually looking through and investigating this game fully and realizing that this game isn't finished? Why they didn't do that, I have no idea. It was a serious slip-up on their part. However, a truly shocking GameSpy interview shows the terrible developer logic in action, so let's actually take a look at that. Once the article loads. It's not loading. Okay, we'll have a backup article by Sergey Titov, who responds to the backlash and the sale removal from Steam on PCGamer.com. So let's actually talk about that. So, Sergey's comments are unedited, as they were provided to us from the WarZ PR. So, PC Gamer asks, as of this morning, the WarZ is no longer purchasable on Steam. Was this a surprise to you, or has Valve been in communication with you after release? Sergey Titov responds, no surprise. Valve contacted us to let us know their concerns based on some of the info circulating in the press, and we completely understand their need to sort things out and make certain we are communicating correctly to the audience before we relaunch with them. They have an obligation first and foremost to customers, and we recognize that. Do ya? Because you haven't cared about your customers up to this point. Yeah, God.
read the listen to the conversation.
PC Gamer then goes on to ask, do you agree with Valve's decision to temporarily unpublish the game from Steam? Titov says, yes. We think this is the best way to serve their customers, and we respect their decision. Now keep in mind, I think everything coming out of this guy's mouth is just bullshit. However, and we respect their decision. As you know, we've been publicly available since October the 15th. Over that time, I think we, the developers, got used to and took it for granted that players knew what state the game was in and how it was a constantly evolving project. Yeah, no kidding, it's a constantly evolving project because it's not finished. With
Crazed
new features,
angry.
they were trying to sell a product that wasn't even complete. Do you not see a problem with that? Jeez. However, with new features being added on an ongoing basis. Yeah, the new features, are you just trying to sell more stuff in the auction house or the real money trader that you have in your game? Anyhow, moving on from that, he goes on to say, clearly the release on Steam introduced the game to players who never followed WarZ. Oh my god. Oh god. Who never followed WarZ, and we made the mistake of not communicating effectively to the Steam community. Oh, trust me, Sergey, we heard all about WarZ before it was released on Steam. Also, during our pre-holiday crunch time with development extending late into the night, there was a major disconnect between our development team and marketing team that resulted in some of the coming soon features being listed as current features on the Steam sales page, namely the following. Really? Because when you posted on the WarZ forums, you never said anything about the fact that there was a disconnect between you and your marketing team. You simply said it was interpreted incorrectly. That would have been some very important information to actually say on the forums to your own consumer base, don't you think? Anyhow, he goes on to say at number 1, servers being able to support up to 100 players. This is actually true, but at the moment we launched, the servers were capped at 50 as a result of an in-game survey we have conducted. Again, you said nothing of that before that until after the game was taken off of Steam. That information had not been communicated properly to our marketing team that was handling the Steam integration. Currently, the servers both support 100 players and 50 players. That is actually true as of this point. They have patched it to 100 players. Map size. We've always stated that our maps would range from 100 to 400 kilometers squared and that we would launch with one map, Colorado. But on your Steam page of features, you said very clearly that there are multiple maps, additional maps even, ranging from 100 to 400 square kilometers. Anyhow, he then goes on to say, and then follow up with additional maps in the first quarter of 2013. Well, you probably should have communicated that correctly. Nothing has changed, however. I believe the wording on the Steam page could have been interpreted as there currently being more than one game world available. No, it couldn't have. Guys, tell me if I'm going insane here, but when you hear the sentence additional maps ranging from 100 to 400 kilometers squared, does that not make it sound like there is more than one map?
Just does. He's just bullshitting.
Oh, I hate it.
Oh wait, Crazed. Just so we can cool down. The break is up.
We will press forward. I care not. I don't care. I'm continuing here. We'll have a break at the hour mark because this is just ridiculous. I'm on fire, ladies and gentlemen. And let's not forget the part where people are actually saying that the map itself in Colorado is only 10 kilometers squared. He then goes on to say at number 3, server rental / strongholds and skill tree. Again, this was not communicated correctly to the marketing team, and once it was realized, it was corrected. Really? Let's see here. Yeah, it has been corrected. This is true. It has been corrected on the Steam page. So that's one thing he's actually saying that's true. He then finishes off by saying, we recognize the above quickly, and no you didn't. You would never have recognized it if it wasn't for the fact that the community basically went on a witch hunt. He then, however, goes on to say, and made the update to the Steam page within the first day of going on sale. However, we completely understand that players were upset and felt that we misled them. We absolutely take responsibility for these inconsistencies. Ultimately, despite all the controversy that has surrounded the War Z, even since the early alpha launch, we have cultivated a large and loyal player base that is very active in the game, and we want to make sure that new players coming into the game now will be satisfied and feel they're getting a great game experience. Well, no kidding, you have a very large and loyal player base, because when I made that DayZ video, I got lynched for it by tons of little War Z fanboys. It was humorous. You have to see it. I made a War Z video calling them out on their practices, and it was just ridiculous the amount of people that could actually rile up. Oh. But there's more. PC Gamer then goes on to ask, when will the War Z be purchasable again on Steam? When do you relaunch the game? How will the War Z be different? T-Tov then answers with, we are working currently with Steam to ensure that they are comfortable that all of our communication is accurate, which currently is. As for differences, this will be the same War Z game as available on our own website for Steam version. Our goal right now is to clear up all support requests and refund requests for Steam users. From our very first hours of being available on Steam and right up until sales were disabled, the War Z was the #1 top grossing game title on Steam. Unfortunately, we really feel that this is not only a testament to the game's popularity, but also largely due to our loyal and vocal community. Oh, they're vocal, alright. We're looking forward to getting things sorted out and being available again soon. I gotta do some research here. I want to just see here real quick. How many players do you think are active on the War Z? I'm gonna go look at Reddit subreddits. The amount of people available on the War Z subreddit. War Z. What do I get? There we go. How many people are subscribed to the War Z subreddit? 4,612 with 81 users currently online. Okay then. Now let's see. How many people are subscribed to the DayZ subreddit? Okay. DayZ subreddit. How many people are subscribed to the DayZ subreddit? 44,321, with currently 261 users online.
Damn.
Yeah. But let's go even further than that, shall we? I want to see just how many people are actually on the games subreddit, which is where I get all this news from. And oh, I can trust me, the actual opinion of WarZ on r/games is not very good either. Let's see here. How many people are actually subscribed to the r/games subreddit? 187,646, with 2,371 users currently online, me including. Okay. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Sure sounds popular, doesn't it? Anyhow. But the funny thing is, I'm actually going onto the WarZ subreddit right now, and it actually looks like they're offering exploits to get past the game's own mechanics. One article right here says, a fast and easy way to get a refund. WarZ refund, Excel's tactics for denying you your refund. They're posting an Atomic Penguin, the WarZ commentary. Is this game a scam? The next article then says, does duping still exist, or do these guys pay shit tons of gold coins to do this? Then the next article says, the biggest single problem with the WarZ. Then one other guy posted, the Game Spy, the WarZ review, a broken, buggy game that left us feeling as if we'd been mugged.
Yeah.
I think this says it all.
Hey, Crazed, it's coming up to the 40 point. I gotta go. Business to
you're
take care of.
serious? Okay, so
Mhm.
good day, sir.
Alright, so.
You do.
Only when you return.
Oh, he's gone. Never mind. Alrighty.
So I'm left here with you.
Yeah, you're left here with me. You get to suffer. Suffer! Oh god. Okay, accidentally left the group. No big deal. No big deal. No big deal. Hang on, hang on, hang on. I have this. No problem. No problem.
Okay, why the
Nice
hell did the
text.
call drop?
I accidentally left the group. No worries. The call will go back on like it was no big deal.
I
Sam's
actually
probably wondering why I'm sending him...
The Papa's
Whoops.
internet was just hanging up again.
Probably should have just told you your internet crapped out. But oh, there's more to the interview. The final question that they ask Mr. Sergey is, actually no, that's not entirely true. There are a ton more questions. The WarZ is still purchasable and playable through thewarz.com, correct? Will the game continue to be playable through your launcher? Titov then responds, both the Steam purchased and standalone versions are available to players without any restrictions. That is, anyone who purchased the game through Steam can obviously continue to play it through Steam. And there's actually a list right here, a good screenshot that is shown of the contrast between the features that were advertised on the WarZ Steam page. On December the 17th, the features that were listed on the Steam page involved as follows. 2 modes of play, normal and hardcore. Combination of first-person and third-person perspectives. A meld of PvE and PvP. Safe settlements where players can purchase, sell, and store items as well as post notes for other players. Up to, and this is where the problem comes in, up to 100 players per game server. Keep in mind it was capped at 50. Dedicated public servers as well as private servers. Keep in mind you could not actually buy any servers, rent, or host. Single purchase, downloadable content with ability to play the full game without descriptions or requiring in-game transactions. Really? In-game transactions.
We need to comment on that.
The actual WarZ store. Where you can buy ridiculous amounts of supplies through money or actual in-game currency. They don't see that as an in-game transaction. You know what? Screw it. Let's just get back to the article. Let's get back to the review here. Okay. It's since been updated, PC Gamer says, but why did the game's initial description on Steam not reflect the content of the game? Who is responsible for that error? Titov then answers, ultimately, it's our responsibility and no fault of Steam at all. They finally take responsibility for something. The description on Steam was basically reflecting a list of all the features that either our engine is capable of, like number of players per server, which can be much higher than 100 for example, as well as our immediate development tasks. The big problem was with some internal communication. As a result of this mistake, our company board, blah 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 blah, basically blaming once again the marketing side of the company. PC Gamer then goes on to ask next, the current version of the game changed the amount of time players wait to respawn individual characters from 1 to 4 hours. You also introduced a paid method for instant respawning. These are significant changes to make as the game appeared on Steam. How would you defend these design and business model decisions? I want to hear what they say here. Titov then answers, actually, this is part of the original design we did for normal and hardcore modes. What? Anyhow. In normal mode, you die and you have a cooldown period before you can play again using the same character again. Our original plan was to have this cooldown period be 24 to 48 hours. But we've lowered it to 1 hour during alpha and beta periods. We conducted a large group survey and asked players what they feel cooldown time should be, starting with 1 hour up to 24 hours. Most users said that it should be 4 hours, 40% out of 80,000 respondents. As for ability to revive a character during using microtransactions, okay, once again, that was a convenience feature that was planned from the start, so neither of those features were actually tied to the Steam release itself. Oh my god. Again, they don't actually talk about what their plans for hardcore was with this. They said, in normal, if you die, you plan to have a cooldown period from 24 to 48 hours. 2 days! But we've lowered it to 1 hour. Oh, 1 hour is okay, it's perfectly fine, during alpha and beta periods. Now, keep in mind, none of that even matters. It doesn't even matter of the cooldown period, because when you die, you lose everything, so there's no point in waiting for the cooldown period when you can just delete your character, make the exact same character, and hop back into the game. PC Gamer then goes on to ask, what does your roadmap look like for features in the War Z? What do you expect to add to the game in the next 3 months? Titov then answers, December the 21st, early January. Leaderboards, improvement in the clan system, January 2013, server rentals, even though they said they already had them. We're going to basically introduce whole new meta gameplay for War Z, which we hope will change the game dramatically for those who are looking for a more engaging PvE type of experience. More barricade types and new building blocks items that will allow you to customize your Stronghold experience. February and April, more Stronghold maps, more characters, more items, weapons, content updates, and skill trees. For the time it was available, PC Gamer asks, the War Z was at the top of Steam's top sellers lists. How many copies did you sell? Now, Titov answers this, we can't really comment on this yet. However, the game performance on Steam exceeded our expectations. Overall, this is a very good thing for us. Really? Your game was so bad, it was the very first game ever on Steam to be taken off of Steam due to public outcry. This is something that people need to understand. This is the absolute first time that Steam has ever taken a game off Steam due to public outcry or any reason ever. Yeah, really, really good.
Just guys remember, Bad Rats is on Steam.
That's
a bad game. That's a bad game.
It makes me wonder, how does Steam even let these games on there? Why would Valve even allow it? Do they not actually research this and realize, yeah, this game is not fit to be on Steam? Like, when you look at a game like Space Pirates and Zombies, how long did that game actually have to... How long was the waiting process for that? It was like something like 1 to 2 years of multiple requests to actually get into Steam. And only recently did they actually allow it. Yeah, that doesn't seem like a terrible idea at all, does it? Valve really needs to fix this, where they actually go in, do a more in-depth look at the games, and maybe even ask the community if the game should even be on Steam in the first place. That's what they tried to do with Greenlight. Yep. They tried to do it with Greenlight, but is it even working at the moment? That doesn't even seem to be working either, because of Greenlight we got something like Towns, which when it was released didn't even work either.
The thing is, Valve is just a company. They don't have enough people to check every game that gets requested to Steam.
then they need to fix that. It's their responsibility to do that. It's their...
Steam is the most popular digital gaming distribution. Can't pronounce it. It's the biggest online game, distribution, and they get tons of requests every day. They can check that for everything. That's why they put green light and
And even that it doesn't work either.
They simply don't have time, especially with Valve's structure they have.
Even then, I don't care if they don't have time. They need to make the time to actually make sure that the games that do deserve to go on Steam actually get on Steam. Does that seem reasonable? I think it does. That said, though, moving on to the next actual question that he asks is... Actually, I didn't read his entire answer. Okay, overall this is a good thing for us even with all the bumps. Bumps doesn't even begin to describe it. I'd say a freaking kilometer-high mountain is what you guys ran into. The War's End proved to be a very attractive game for players. Controversy sure does sell, doesn't it? Good thing is that our daily performance indicators, number of concurrent users, number of daily players are growing despite all the negative press recently. I can tell you that as of today, we have close to 700,000 registered players. Now he spelled registered wrong. With close to 180,000 players playing the game daily. I find that so incredibly hard to believe because the actual subreddit on one of the biggest websites in the internet only has 4,000 players actually subscribed to it for War Z, and even those guys don't seem to like your game. Oh. I really genuinely wonder, because they don't... I really genuinely wonder if this game is actually as popular as they say it is. They won't release the amount of sales that they got from Steam, but they can say without a fraction of a doubt that, oh yes, we have 700,000 registered players with close to 180,000 players playing the game daily. I really have to beg the question if that's even true. They have lied to us so much before. I have no idea why anybody would even honestly take anything they say at face value anymore. But he goes on, with PC Gamer asking, the Steam release was labeled as a foundation release. Why do you make the decision to call that rather than a continuation of the beta or full release? T-Top then answers, basically as all buildings have foundations, every online game has what you can say is a critical set of features. We feel that we've reached this stage. No, you haven't, because the game is barely even ready. As we move forward, we'll be adding new features to the game to expand on that foundation. The War's End is a game that we will never call final, because we will continue to develop and add new features based on community feedback. Really, because as it seems, you don't give a crap about community feedback, because if anybody offers any criticism of your game whatsoever, they get banned. There are 2 more questions that we have to go through here, and then...
Are you serious?
There's more. There's more.
I'm tired of this. Please.
Only when we get through this article do you have my permission.
Stop with the bait. Stop it. No. Just continue.
PC Gamer then asks, how would you evaluate the quality of War Z right now? T-Top then says, it's definitely a very fun game. Really? Because Total Biscuit made a video of it, and even he couldn't make it entertaining. God! Though it lacks the polish of titles like COD... Oh my god! Now, keep in mind, I like Black Ops 2, but if you're trying to tell me that Call of Duty is polished, then you are just grossly insane. He then goes on to say Far Cry or PlanetSide 2. Now keep in mind, PlanetSide 2, while being a great game, could barely even run on most systems because it clocks over everything, and there are still glitches and stuff that need to be fixed. Well, it is a solid, good game. It is not polished by any stretch of the imagination. Oh... But then he goes on to say, it's a very solid, stable, and fun game, and we're working non-stop with frequent updates to make it even better. From the feedback we receive from the vast majority of our players, they like the game and feel that it is a good value. I think as we continue to add features that sentiment that sentiment will grow, and we will continue to attract more and more players to the War Z. I rather doubt it after the controversy from Steam. How it even
internet just
sold
quit
on
because
Steam.
of you ranting.
I'm
Maybe
glad
just
that my
said, "Oh,
internet.
no,
I'm glad that my
I'm leaving."
rant can actually kill your internet.
Yeah,
You
it just said,
disconnect
I'm leaving. I can't handle this anymore.
Oh my god. Anyhow, the final question says, how do you intend to win back the trust of players who feel misled by the game was initially represented on Steam? Titov then says, well, we really hope those players will understand that we weren't looking to intentionally mislead anyone. Bullshit! Oh my god, I personally hope that they will give the game another look and find that it is actually worth the purchase. Or maybe talk to some of the people playing the game that are really enjoying it. Or here's a crazy idea, Titov! Why don't you actually pull your head out of your ass and create a game that is finished and worth a $15 price tag? A game that is actually worth playing. A complete game that should actually be sold complete. Is that a crazy idea? I don't think it is. So why don't you do that instead of relying on the good graces of a few gamers that were incredibly burned by your desire for money? He then finishes with, we are already talking internally about some things we can do to reward those who have been loyal to us and also help to mend the relationship with new players. Here's a reward. Don't ban them for giving criticism of your game. I'm glad the opportunity I had to do this interview and hopefully explain the facts without being defensive and have the community understand that we don't take this lightly. Really? Because they're doing nothing to change the community's outlook on your game, apparently, other than hope that their good graces will actually lead them back to you. Oh my god. But there's more! There is more.
What?
Okay. That article, it doesn't end just there with the article. I want you to know that. Oh my
Continue.
god. This is
Grace me.
This is such a shit show. Okay, so the next part is the Metacritic's review of the Warzone. Now keep in mind, I don't like Metacritic, but Metacritic actually gave this game a 1.2. That's the user score, a 1.2. Multiplayer.it says, the War Z is a total disaster, the worst zombie game ever made. GameSpy says, all it can say is that the War Z is a bad game that deserves all the controversy it's drawn and that you should avoid it like the undead. POV Games then says, the War Z is going downhill, but it's my favorite game, they reverted it, blah 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 blah. The respawn timer back to 1 hour like it should be, and remove the pay to win. Now this guy's gonna be shocked when he realizes that the pay to win is actually back, and the respawn timer is back to 4 hours. Parabole says, this game has a ton of potential, and when you find a game without hackers and play with a friend, you can have a lot of fun. However, right now, blah 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 blah, the devs, though unprofessionalism and hackers are destroying the game. Not to mention the devs are a PR nightmare, building the game on the engine of another game, stealing artwork from other sources, The Walking Dead, acting like spoilt children on the forums, random bans for no reason, straight up lying about game features. Fact is, this game could be really great, but the devs need to start acting like honest professionals and not snake oil salesmen with a bad attitude. And they need to fix the biggest problem with the game, namely the BS nickel and dime transactions and the hackers. And then Dragon Striker 64 goes on to say, horrible game. After posting about bugs on the forum, I was repeatedly ignored. Once I started demanding a refund since the bugs wouldn't get fixed, they banned me. Terrible game, don't buy this if you do. They will suck the money out of you until there is nothing left. And he gave the game a 0. The Metacritic score of it in total is actually 1.2. Good God. Good God. And GameSpy and Multiplayer IT are the only people that have actually reviewed this game. And you want to know something really pathetic? Absolutely incredibly pathetic. The developers are begging people to actually rate it. Don't believe me? There is a forum post that says, the War Z on Metacritic, tell us what do you think. 19 people think the game is shit, 3 think that game is good. Please go and vote, tell us what you think. Good God. Hey, Texas, guess what?
What?
We're at the end, pal.
Where's the age
The very
required?
last thing.
Where's the age
The very
required?
last
Sorry
thing.
to have that. What?
Yeah.
What?
The very last thing is that the War Z is no longer purchasable through Steam. Valve's announced they're offering full refunds. Get yours by submitting a ticket here. Blah, 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 blah. Update 2. If you guys thought Powerpoint would change their tune after this fiasco, you're sorely mistaken. I just have my game/forum accounts banned. I'm reading from the actual Reddit post here. Update 3. Sergey is still blaming his customers over himself and still can't work up the courage and decency to apologize. He is also trying to deliberately mislead people. Update 4. Blah. Yeah. It's off Steam. Valve is actually looking at the situation now. As they should. I'm done. From this point on, I am never talking about War Z ever again. Unless they do something so miraculously controversial that I have to talk about it, I am never talking about this game, its shitty gameplay, its graphics, its design, its developers, its inept developers, ever again. Never again. This game does not deserve the media it actually receives. And so I am done. Never again will this game be mentioned on my radio show unless it does something so abhorrent, so absolutely terrible that I simply cannot go without talking about it. And why do I say that? Because I refuse to be that sort of media journalist, or I refuse to have that form of media journalism on my show where I will not tell the truth. If you come to the show, you will get the truth about the news, and you got it about the War Z. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to the break real quickly. When we come back, we'll be talking about something much more interesting and a hell of a lot less abhorrent than the War Z's terrible and absolutely crappy business practices. So, let's listen to some 3 Days Grace. Life starts now. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back after the break.
Old blues and new news, specifically for your blues and news needs. Friday, 7 to 8 p.m. GMT, 2 to 3 EST.
We are now returning to GTM, available only on Nordrassil Radio. What do you want to be when you grow up, little Timmy?
I want to be a juggernaut!
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to GTM. I'm your host, Crazed as always, joined again by Texas, and you are listening to the Christmas episode of GTM, available only on Nordrassil Radio. We just finished talking about frickin' War Z, dude. Oh my god. I hope people like to hear me rant about War Z, because the first hour is all they're gonna be hearing when they actually watch this on YouTube. Oh my god.
You should put a disclaimer in the start, just saying that.
I should
Warner.
put a disclaimer. I should say, warning, the first hour is all the War Z. Skip by if you don't want to hear it, because I know to God some people don't. Jeez. The amount of hate I got from the War Z video I did prior. Yeah, the one I did from the show, I think it was 3 weeks ago? 3 or 4. One of the two. The amount of hate, or like the occasional stupid troll and just idiot that came along, was just absolutely silly, because it's like, how can you like that game? And then there's people trying to defend the game, saying that it's good solely because they like it. But the thing is, they don't understand that liking a game is purely fucking subjective, and that if you like a game, that doesn't make it good. Some guy used the example of, hey, I like Dino D-Day, so that makes it a good game, and some people should stop hating on War Z. And I just said to him, and I hate that whole example, because it's like, if you like a game, that's purely subjective. You can like a game for any number of reasons, but when you look at purely objectively at a game's core mechanics, gameplay, and structure, you realize that that game is actually pure shit. It's absolutely fine to like War Z. To anybody listening to this, I don't give a single crap if you like War Z or not. I don't care. Like War Z if you want, but just know that the game itself is actually terrible to the rest of us. But it's perfectly fine for you to like it. And I personally do not care if that offends you one little bit. That said, let's talk about GTA 5. Can move on to some actually more stressful things. I swear to God, I'm gonna have like a stroke one of these days from the show. Like my blood pressure's gonna be high. I'm gonna be like, let's talk.
Brain meltdown. You is lying on the floor, is shaking.
Have an aneurysm. Oh God. Oh, I love doing this as a hobby, but God, sometimes it gets me worked up. Which it should. You should be passionate about the games that you love. Oh God. Although I'm truly professional right now because I love this hobby because I can kind of just sit here in like my without any trousers on. Like I'm not wearing pants right now. I'm just kind of sitting here with like with my underwear. That's a sign that you're truly professional. Oh God. You know the funny thing is when we were doing that Jesse Cox interview, and we were saying how professional we were. Yep. Some people actually took us seriously, and they were yelling at us saying that you're not professional at all, and they didn't realize that we were joking. Oh my God, that was the best part. It's like we'd have like a phone going off in the background. It's like, yep, totally professional. Oh God. Anyhow, let's actually talk about GTA 5. So GTA 5 should be banned, says a U.S. senator. So, Texas, are you familiar with the Connecticut shooting? I imagine you have to be.
Yes, I am.
Yeah, I don't think there's anybody in the world right now that doesn't actually know about the Connecticut shooting. So let's actually go right into this. It is an article on GameRanks.com. And it says, with the recent Sandy Hook tragedy, it's no secret that some people are looking into obvious scapegoats to have someone to blame. Just a few days ago, uneducated people somehow connected BioWare's Mass Effect franchise to the shooting and are blaming the game for what happened. Now, U.S. Senator Joe Manchin is going back to one of the most controversial video game franchises of all time to have someone new to blame. I'm, of course, talking about the Grand Theft Auto franchise, which in this case is GTA 5. In the interview with MSNBC via Daily Kos, Manchin, who's an avid gun user and huntsman, of course he is, states that he has no plan in selling his guns and has been discussing the issue with the NRA, National Rifle Association. Further along the interview, he also claims that he's friends with the NRA and that he's proud of the association. Say what? Here's what Manchin... These guys just can't spell. Anyhow, here's what Manchin had to say regarding the NRA and how he's proud of them. Quote, "These are my friends. They're good people. They're hurting. They're in pain the same way as every American about what happened to these 20 little children. And I'm not about to let anybody be vandalized. I'm so proud of the NRA. I'm so pleased they agreed to be a part of this." Really? Because you actually know any one of those children's names? God. Okay. If that wasn't befuddling enough, Manchin then spent most of the interview putting focus on mental health issues, and you guessed it, video games! That's right, our own little hobby. In fact, the hobby that I have just decided to take up and do a radio show about. Yeah, so I may be a little bit biased when I talk about this. So Manchin states later in the interview, look at Grand Theft Auto, put out by Rockstar Games in New York City, and see what it promotes, and even ads. Shouldn't that be looked into and maybe be banned? Now, people are probably thinking, oh, it's just America, who cares what they decide? When you have a superpower like America and they decide something like this when it comes to video games, people should be concerned. Especially gamers.
But the thing
and
is,
it goes on to say,
America isn't a superpower. Not longer.
Unfortunately, they still think they are. And they kind of are. They have a massive military, so I guess you can kind of say they are. They're trillions of dollars in debt, but they're still a superpower.
Well, we here in Europe does not give a shit about them.
Yeah, most of the world doesn't, dude.
We're like sipping our tea like, yeah, whatever, have fun.
Yes, like, yes, quite. Yes, how's your debt going, America? Yes, yes.
Only when you stroll your way out of debt do you have my permission to become a superpower. Yes, quite.
We are watching the America burn. We are sitting there. More tea, Watson?
The funny thing is you're Swedish, so it'd be more like, more salted iced tea, comrade. I don't fuck all about Sweden. I don't know if you noticed. That might have been made perfectly clear with just that sentence. Oh God. Go tell the Jarl.
French, German, and
Okay.
Englishman go in hand in hand to laugh at the US. That's how it is over here.
Yeah. I imagine
By the way-
Germany's kind of looking at US and being like, "Oh, your economy's bad. Yeah, well, we have one of the strongest in the world, so yeah."
By the way, did you hear about the Hells Angels? What they did?
What do they do now?
Well, no, actually, you know, Westernborn Church that they said that the killing of the school
Yeah,
was an
yeah,
act
I've
of
heard all
God.
about Westboro. They're actually, yeah, they're basically praising on the backs of 20 dead
Yep.
kids. Yeah.
You know what Hell's Angels did? They went to
What did they do?
they went to that school where the Westernborn Church was protesting, whatever. They then made a line between the school and the Westernborn Church with the motorcycles. Just looked at them with their arms across, with the chains and everything. Just looked at them, just said, "Go."
Huh, really?
Hell's Angels did that.
You sure it was the yeah, and the Hell's Angels aren't really like... But the reason I say the reason I'm curious about that is because I'm just wondering if it is actually the Hell's Angels, because there is a
Yes.
community. You sure it wasn't the Saviors?
No, the whole Hell's Angels gang came up. Just said
Yeah, the
to the
article?
Western Church, "Go."
Huh.
They said that. So just go.
Nice.
Even KKK judged.
Yeah. KKK is protesting Westboro Baptist Church. Do you have any idea how fucking batshit crazy a group has to be to actually get protested by the Ku Klux Klan? Jesus! Oh my god. Like, these are the same people that if they see a black guy on the street, they would consider roasting him on a stake. And they're protesting them. Oh my god.
You, you really need to sit down and think about your life if the KKK is judging you.
Yeah, it's like, what? Oh my god. Yeah, it's crazy. Anyhow, let's actually get through to the end of this article here, because there's only about like 5 or 6 sentences left. So instead of talking about how to better keep guns away from unbalanced people, Manchin focuses on suggesting that Grand Theft Auto 5 be banned. I don't know about you, but I highly doubt that banning Grand Theft Auto 5, or any other video game for that matter, will result in the crime rate dropping, or for tragedies like what just happened in Connecticut to not just happen. For more on why we don't think video games are the instigator, blah 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 blah. Okay. Texas, what do you think about this? If Grand Theft Auto 5 should be banned? I have my own little opinion, and I'm gonna rant about it in 5 minutes after you're done with yours. So, what do you think?
Oh, well, what do you think? Well, I honestly don't know what to think. We're talking about the U.S. Senate, so I seriously don't know what to say. I'm speechless about them. It's been happened so many times. I can't say anything new.
Okay, well, I have my own little argument for this. Why did they think it's okay to actually consider talking about gun laws and banning of video games when their own mental health system is incredibly destroyed? Why do they think that's okay? They're going to focus on gun laws, keeping in mind the fact that no matter what they do, they're going to piss off a lot of people, and regardless of it, they're probably not going to come to a conclusion. With that said, why are they also trying to find video games as a scapegoat when studies also show that video games are one of the least influencing things on a human being's behavior, and when they actually looked at psychopathic killers, their most influential behavior came from reading, literature, books, writing, all that kind of stuff. In fact, the Connecticut shooter, who I will not say his name because he should be forgotten, actually quoted a freaking line from a Stephen King novel called Rage. But of course, we are going to look at a video game like Grand Theft Auto 5 and say it should be banned when the game itself hasn't even come out yet. And I can guarantee people aren't continuously taking inspiration from Grand Theft Auto 4. But of course, it's perfectly fine to use video games as a scapegoat, even though their own mental health society doesn't work. Why are they focusing on that on the guns on video games instead of focusing on making sure if the person actually using the gun is actually stable and not an unhinged, batshit crazy piece of scum. There is a very, very interesting quote that I read by some guy that I'm not going to put his name out there because it wasn't really anybody famous, and he said mental illness is a choice. And the reason he said that is because if America would actually fix their mental health society so people could actually go in, get their illnesses checked, and actually get them looked at to the point that they are not going insane, that would be the solution. This is what I'm thinking. I've had this thought ever since Connecticut happened. I'm thinking, why don't people just have, you know how you can go in for your yearly physical, make sure you're all in tip-top shape and all that kind of stuff, good condition, healthy, all that kind of stuff, Texas?
Yep.
Why don't they just have a person alongside a physical checkup going for a mental checkup? Go see a therapist. Make sure that if you do have a mental health condition, it's being taken care of. And if you are developing a mental health condition, it is actually getting stopped and conditioned before it can actually turn into something dangerous. Wouldn't that be the solution? Because regardless of what you're gonna... It doesn't matter if you have guns or if you don't have guns. The person who wants to kill someone in a irrational manner is gonna get his hands on a weapon regardless. The guns are not the problem. It is a person using them. Ah, God.
You should do as Chris Rock says, have bullet control. Every bullet costs $5,000.
Yeah.
At that point, then you know that guy...
It's not even worth it anymore.
At that point, you know the guy who got shot at least some way earned it.
Yeah, yeah.
And you also know the guy who shot the bullet will go up and say and pay for a hospital bill so he won't get the bullet back.
Yeah.
It's $5,000 bullet. You want it back.
Yeah. But
Like,
yeah,
hey, you
that's
stole
something
that
they need to
bullet from
look
me.
at. They need
Give it back.
Yeah, they need to stop blaming video games because at the end of the day, they don't affect people in the long term like people think they do. I've said this once and I'll say it again. Yes, video games do affect you in the short term. Say if you're playing a game of Call of Duty or Battlefield or a very competitive game, yes, it gets your endorphins pumping, it gets your adrenaline going, and you can get a little bit more competitive and maybe even angry and a little bit rage-filled. But at the end of the day, you're blowing off steam. That's a healthy thing for a normal human being, an individual, to do. If you didn't do that, you'd be a corked up, walking time bomb. That's the thing. There is nothing in the long term that suggests, no research, absolutely no research whatsoever has been provided at any point that video games actually affect people in a negative manner in the long term. And if they did, I'm pretty sure I'd be running around dressed up as Pac-Man in a darkly lit room looking for strange foods being chased by ghosts. So let's just stop with this bullshit. Let's stop with this nonsense of saying that video games are the problem, and let's say that the mental health society is really the problem. Let's stop with the media who thinks that it's okay to actually go on and give more attention to the killer who is promoting this kind of psychopath behavior, because if I'm a psychopath and I see that if I can go and shoot up a school, it will make me an anti-hero to some, then I, of course, would obviously do that. Because that's obviously what's being promoted by the media, and in fact, they are making money off the backs of 20 dead children and 6 dead heroic teachers. Yeah, that seems like a great idea, doesn't it? Jesus. It's like... Oh, God. I don't even know what to say.
Have you heard about the incident how they took someone else's picture from Facebook and claimed him to be a murderer?
Yeah. After Connecticut, they inaccurately thought someone was the suspect in the Connecticut shooting, and he got hassled for it for a week, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Poor guy.
It's like that's another problem with the media. That guy's life got turned to shit for weeks, and probably he will always have to live with that shadow hanging over his head because the media just immediately pointed fingers. Why? There is nothing to be gained from that. They did no research whatsoever. They pointed fingers at someone, not knowing who he was, what he was affiliated with, and they blamed him. And now you have idiots, uneducated fools, who are actually thinking that Mass Effect 3 is the cause for the Connecticut shooting. Really? I've already said my piece on this. I've said it multiple times, and I said last week I didn't want to touch this subject with a 10-foot pole, and now I have. Jeez.
the thing is, they want to ban video games for this horrible behavior. But why do they allow Hitler's own journal to be published? That's the thing.
Yeah, it's like they're allowing Mein Kampf to actually be published in North America. Mein Kampf, written by Adolf Hitler, the man who was responsible for, like, the Holocaust, for God's sakes. He tried to exterminate an entire group of religious people, a race, for God's sakes, based simply on the fact that he did not like him. He wanted to create a pure race. This man was insane. And you are allowing that book, the Mein Kampf, to actually be allowed open to the public for people to read. And you think that video games, where basically you play a hero that goes around and saves the world at all times, is more negatively effective than that. Now, I am of the opinion that, yes, you should have access to this so you can actually understand, because you want to have access to history so you don't repeat the same mistakes, and it's a better way to understand him. But my God, isn't that just a double entendre there? That's the paradox of the situation. Oh. Like, if I wanted to, I could go on Amazon right now and buy Mein Kampf. Let's see. Mein Kampf on Amazon. Yes, Mein Kampf from Amazon.co.uk, available for $8 or £8.81. So £8 and 81 pence, I'd imagine. Mein Kampf by Adolf Hitler. It's got a nice glossy new image. Cover even. Click to look inside. Mein Kampf, with Hitler sitting in his wonderful Nazi uniform with a swastika armband. Oh my God.
The thing is, in the future, games will become a part of our history, technological advancement. Just as movies and
you can actually read
books
the
and
entire article right here. Or can you? Maybe not. Nope, it stops you the second you can get to the point. Yeah, okay.
I just wish today when video games actually become history, just like books or video games.
Yeah. You want to know something hilarious, though?
Complaining. Yeah, well.
You want to know something incredibly ironic? You know the NRA, the National Rifle Association?
Yeah,
when
I know
they
about
were
that.
having their meeting 2 days ago, when they were having their meeting about gun laws, the pointless little meeting that will never get anywhere, Pennsylvania had a mass shooting and 4 people died. It's like, it's hard to stop this kind of behavior when you can get freaking immortalized for shooting up a school by the media. Oh my God. It's ridiculous. But yeah, I have no more to say about that. I have said everything I have to say about this. Texas, anything you want to end off with for this little topic?
I just think I said my share.
Yeah, I think I've said my share too. It's this kind of topic that makes me a little bit sad with the human race, and I kind of lose faith in humanity just a little bit, but there you go. And now I'm going to have to explain why I have Mein Kampf on my search history. Yeah, that's not going to look suspicious at all. Anyhow.
It's actually quite an interesting book. I've read it.
It's interesting. Hitler is a fascinating individual, but I will not ever try to say he was a good person. He's a fascinating human being, but not in a good way.
By the way, have you seen the videos about he's trying to romance with his, his girlfriend? There's actually videos on YouTube where he's actually flirting with someone. It's actually kind of conflicting with what we've learned about him. You've learned him to be a Satan of the world, and he's flirting with someone. It's quite surreal to see.
I'm sure that everybody's going to misconstrue the fact that I said Hitler was fascinating and the history surrounding him was fascinating. They're going to say I'm an antichrist, but there you go. Good God. He was an interesting human being. He wasn't a good human being. He was a devil, pretty much, but he was interesting. It's interesting to learn about him and the thoughts he said. I believe there was a thing about propaganda that he said that I had to look up one time for I believe a psychology project, and his quote was thrown in there as well because of like what he used for Nazi propaganda. But anyhow, this relates to games no way whatsoever.
In the future, there will be Minecraft. It will still be be read, but there in U.S. history, there will be one sentence said, "The 2012 government is still idiot. Government are still populated with idiots." That there will just be one sentence saying that. Waymark on history.
Yeah. Oh, God. Anyhow, funnily enough, the topic of like propaganda in a perfectly homogenized society does actually carry into our next article that we are going to be talking about, and that is North Korea released their first video game ever. This is their first video game. Now keep in mind, this game actually, I'm gonna link to this in the chat because it looks hilarious. Like it's got like graphics from like 1998. It's crazy. It looks like the original Grand Theft Auto, which, in terms of graphic, it looks to be a racing game. Now I'm gonna read through the actual article here. So it's by the Atlantic Wire. What matters now? Title says, "Let's play North Korea's first video game." Okay. It then goes to say, after successfully launching its first big satellite into orbit, well, sort of, North Korea isn't showing any signs of slowing down. Today, the country has blessed us with Pyongyang Racer.
That's something a racist came up with.
Oh my god.
That's
They made
something
a
like a
racing
white
game.
Like there's some sort of, that sounds like some sort of cracker, white cracker from the redneck from the, I don't know, from the depths of US came up with. Pyongyang Racer. If you say that on the street, you would be hailed as a racist.
I swear to God, if I don't get killed by like a North Korean assassin after this, then I don't know what I can do. Anyhow. Okay, that goes on to say, the first video game ever to come to North Korea, and just like their satellite, it's not very good. The game is browser-based, and you can access it here. It's browser-based. Oh my god. I'm actually loading it up right now. Let's see.
I gotta play.
Website. I want to see the website that it's actually on. The funny thing is, it's actually in English too. I have no idea why it'd be in English.
Because maybe Korea is finally shaping up.
Do you really think that?
Well,
The funny thing is,
had just died.
I can't get on the website. Damn it! Oh,
The top
shit.
the top hat just died. So yeah, maybe
Yeah.
maybe
You,
it's sort of
have you ever
different.
found did you ever find that like glimmer of hope that maybe Kim Jong-un wouldn't turn out to be a complete scumbag because he was actually taught in Sweden? Like he had Western teaching. He was raised up in a Western area, taught by Western culture, and then now he's in North Korea. You think maybe he would take that with him, but I don't think he is. Anyhow.
Yes. Continue.
I love this article already. Okay, it goes on to say, we haven't yet finished the game to completion, but we think the premise involves driving around a place called the City of Willows, which is loosely based on Pyongyang, while collecting barrels of fuel and avoiding the one or two non-moving cars on roads devoid of people. Sometimes you honk, you'll pass the Arc of Triumph, based off Paris's Arc de Triomphe, only bigger, the Victory Monument, the now complete Ryongyong Hotel, and the Juche Tower, the tallest stone structure in the world, barely eclipsing the Washington Monument, writes Anthony Tao at the Beijing Cream, who has invested more time playing than we really cared to spend. Mario Kart it is not, but that's mostly because we like the Nintendo music. To be fair, this not-so-great game wasn't a DPRK venture alone. A company called Koryo, a British-owned travel agency that books trips to North Korea, commissioned the game, and it was developed by a company called Nosotech, which describes itself as the first Western IT venture in the DPRK. So like we said, not exactly Nintendo. I love the way they're going about this article. This is the best thing ever.
I said about Santos who write this article. He's gonna get visited by a couple of strangers in the night soon.
I'm gonna get visited by strangers in the middle of the night soon, packing weaponry. Jesus. Oh my god.
No, they will be carrying nuclear weapons. Pointed in your face.
Well, to be fair, considering North Korea's history with nuclear weapons, it might not do much. Oh my god.
Maybe get a pimple or something.
That was terrible. It's like they launched a missile and it's like, and it's in the sea. Oh god. I didn't hear what happened to North Korea's satellite. I heard it got up there and everybody was completely pissed off about it. Like even China's mad at North Korea. But what, did it just break or what happened?
I have no idea. I'm not invested.
I don't know either.
I didn't even hear about it.
I heard about it. Like I heard about the second it happened because I happened to go on Reddit the second it happened. So I was like, oh, neat. Fuck, we're all gonna die. But then now they said it was a satellite, and everybody was pissed off. Like the U.S. wants to issue a sanction. The UN is in there too. Britain, Canada, China's pissed off. And keep in mind, China is basically North Korea's only friend. Russia's like, what? South Korea's probably freaking out right now because they're like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. And because let's not forget, North Korea has about, I'd say, a good 1,000 pounds of military arsenal aimed right at their capital city. Oh yeah. Yeah. Nobody's really feeling all that happy.
Everyone, when they see there's a rocket going up in the sky, everyone just spit out the tea and whatever it was drinking at the same time. Go like, what? Just look at the horror.
That's the thing too about North Korea is that everybody underestimates it, but nobody realizes just how deadly like their foot soldiers are. Like their land army is actually really quite well trained. So it's oh god. Oh well, it doesn't matter because they can't launch a missile for shit, so I guess that's okay.
we will just
stand. Picture.
We will just stand in the US when see a US rocket come out. Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh, why is it turning around?
Yeah. It's like, oh, the missile is drifting off, and it's coming back at us. What the fuck? That reminds me of like a picture I saw. It showed like it showed a picture and it was titled "The True North Korean Missile Launch," and it showed Kim Jong-un basically standing on and jumping on top of a one of those little like those like little toy rockets that you kind of launch like by jumping on like the little gas pump of the thing. It showed that. It showed like this little dinky like foot long orange plastic rocket going into the air. It was hilarious. Anyhow. And now they made a video game. I don't know why. I sincerely don't know why. Okay, so let's talk about the next article for the day, because I don't want to go into break, because that just feels weird, because we went into a break. We didn't go into a break earlier. And now I have a Skype notification. Texas, why are you Skyping me? Through text. We're in the same call. Okay. I can't watch this video. We're in the middle of a show. Texas. You're drunk. Go home.
No, it's topical.
Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about day 4 of the Steam holiday sales, because we like to keep you guys up to date on Steam games. We are a gaming radio show, and hey, this happens to be one of the exact days of the Steam holiday sales going on, so we will give you all the Steam sales that are happening at the moment. So, the daily deals for today are Super Street Edition 4, or Super Street Fighter 4 Arcade Edition Complete Pack for a discount of 75% off, coming to US dollars $13.49 US dollars, 10.74 euros, £8.79, and then Australian dollars for Aussie dollars $13.49. That's pretty good. Moving on to the next game of the day for the... Or actually, Texas, have you actually played Super Street Fighter 4?
No, I haven't. I really want to, but yeah.
Yeah, I haven't gotten around to it yet. It's actually not recommended here on this Reddit, but anyhow. Let's talk about good old Saints Row the Third. The full package is available on Steam. That's easily full package with all the DLC. And it is for a discount of 75% off, coming to $7.49, $7.49 for euros, £6.24, and Aussie dollars 49. It has a Metascore for 84, and it is recommended. I personally loved Saints Row the Third. Even though I feel it was kind of inferior to Saints Row the Second in pretty much every way, there was less customization, less guns, and really just less things to do, but I still had a hell of a lot of fun with it, and it's a really good game if you just want to screw around and, for the sake of gaming, just have fun. That is the point of the game, to have fun. If you don't like fun, you might not like it, but oh well. Texas, have you played Saints Row the Third?
No, I have not.
Good God, man! Jesus!
I have
Okay, so the next game up... You have Team Fortress 2, that's all you need. Yeah. Okay, so the next game up on the list is Anno 2070, coming up at 60% off at $19.99 US dollars, $19.99 for euros, £11.99, and $23.99 Aussie dollars, with a Metascore coming in at 83. It is not recommended, but that's neither here nor there. I heard it's actually quite good for what it does. However, I can give no opinion on it whatsoever. In Texas, I'm imagining you have not played it either.
Nope, I'm not interested in those games.
What a fucking surprise. Anyhow, moving on to the next game.
I mean, like strategy, but I'm not interested in
God.
whatever.
Yeah. Okay, next game up is Chivalry Medieval Warfare, coming in at
guess who have
50% off. Guess who have it? We have it! Me and Texas are going to be playing it directly after the show today. So Chivalry Medieval Warfare is coming in at a discount of 50% off at $12.49. And it comes at... This is some weird pricing they have going on here, but for €11.49 to €8.99. I'm not really sure what the deal is with that. I'm assuming for maybe a 4-pack, something along those lines. Anyhow.
Yeah, there's.
Okay.
I bought the
Alrighty,
4-pack for 35 euros.
Oh, not bad. Okay, and then it's £9.49 and 12 Aussie dollars 49 with a Metascore rating of 70. Now keep in mind, Metascore is absolute bullshit and doesn't really mean anything, but I'm going to say it regardless. Okay, the next one up on the list is the Portal Bundle, which you better have played, Texas.
What? I have
I'm
both
gonna come over
games.
there.
Don't look
Okay.
down on me that much.
Okay. I have both of them as well. You're not that special, but okay. Alrighty. Portal Bundle coming in at a discount of 75% off, so that's $6.24 for United States dollars. €6.24 euros. What?
Doesn't Portal have 75% off pretty much every week? It's been on
pretty
sale
much.
for thousands of times.
Oh yeah, pretty much.
It's like, should you just have?
Why are you disrupting the list? Gosh!
I know. Because I'm bored.
Anyhow,
Alex.
yeah.
I like destroying you.
Don't worry, we'll be able to... Did you say you like strawberries?
Maybe.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let's get back to the actual cost. It is €6.24 or $4.74, coming in at £4.49, and it does not have an actual Aussie dollar. So you're kind of screwed on that one, I guess. It is recommended, however, which of course this is r/game, so of course it's going to be recommended. It's a puzzle game, physics-based first-person puzzle game. You'll know if you like it or if you don't. But who's kidding? Who am I even kidding? Everybody already owns Portal. Anyhow, next up on the list is Carrier Command Gaia Mission. It is coming in at 50% off, so $24.99, €19.99, and £15.89, and 24 Aussie dollars 99. It has a Metascore rating of 59. It is not recommended. Okay. Flash sales. We have the title Camera Bag 2 with a discount of 66%, coming in at $5.99 United States. €4.07. £2.22, and then Aussie dollars 9 cents or pence, whatever the hell they use. I don't even know. Jesus. Okay, and then next up on the list is Flynn, which is 50% off at $4.09 or $4.09. $4.99. I don't know how euros work, Texas.
Wait. Are we talking about the same flash sales? Because I think you got the wrong ones.
Nope, this is for day 4, dude. This is the day we're on.
Just refresh the page quickly.
No, I'm not refreshing them. I can't refresh the page. This is a Reddit article.
But flash sales right now is Dragon Age Tower War Stalker. Binary domain mountain.
Bullshit. Don't say that to me. This says for day 4, and this was submitted 2 hours ago. Are we on day 3? Please tell me we're not on day 3. No. No. Shut up! This isn't on here either! I don't care! We're pressing forward! Yes! Okay? Flash sales. It's on here too, okay? It's on here too. Flash sales is on here, Texas. You derailed everything! Ah! Okay, back to the business. God! I was looking up at the full daily sales, like the actual titles. I was like, where's Dragon Age Origins? It's not a flash sale. Looked out of flash sales. Oh, there it is. Okay. God. So what I was saying, Flynn, it is €4.99 or €3.49, £3.99 and 4 Aussie dollars 99 with a Metascore rating of 82. Moving on to Lone Survivor, it is a discount of 67% coming in at $3.29, €3.29 or $2.30. Moving on to £2.30 or $3 Aussie dollars 29 cents or whatever the hell they use. Dragon Age Origins The Ultimate Edition, jackass, comes in at 75% off at $7.49, €7.49, £4.99, and 12 Aussie dollars 49, coming in at a Metascore rating of 91. Moving on to Tower Wars, jackass, comes in a discount of 50% off at $4.99, €4.49, $3.49, or £3.49. Moving on to Aussie dollars, which is $4.99 Aussie dollars, with a Metascore rating of 59. The Stalker Bundle! Yes, Stalker, widely acclaimed as being an awesome game, if a bit difficult and unforgiving. However, it is 75% off at $8.74, €5.99, £5.74, 6 Aussie dollars 24, with no Metacritic rating available to it. It's a good thing I can talk quick. Jesus. Anyhow, that's pretty much it. We have one last article to talk about for you.
Oh wait, there's still more flash sales.
Really? No, there isn't.
Binary Domain, Mountain Blade, and Killing Floor. In space!
Really?
Yes.
Let me take a look at this then.
Binary Domain.
Other sales. Hidden Steam sales. Oh god. Bad Rats. 90% off. Woo!
No, you just go to store page and scroll down. Flash page. Binary Domain. And Mountain Blade for and Killing Floor all for 75% off.
You know, you derailed this entire thing. You know that, right? Are you proud of yourself?
This fucking Mountain Blade of flash sales. Go tell Sam. Make him buy it.
Okay, flash sales. Oh yeah. We have binary domain, which is 75% off, which comes to $6.24. Of course, I can't give you euros or pounds because it's not actually on the list. Mountain Blade Collection is 75% off at $8.74, and Killing Floor in space is at negative 75% off, so coming at $4.99. I'd pick up Killing Floor because it's awesome, even though it's probably just a skin pack.
Mountain Blade
Mountain
2.
Blade. There are also publisher packs available. You have the Sega Collection, which is basically Total War, coming in at $69.99. THQ Collection, $24.99. Valve at $49.99. Ubisoft Collection at $89.99. Bethesda Collection at $89.99. 2K Collection at $89.99. Square Enix at Eidos at $89.99. And the Indie Super Mega Pack at $69.99. There are also the top sellers lists. For God's sake. Currently, as I am recording this... Yes, we do. The Walking Dead is at negative 50% off, or 50% off, so at $12.49. Get this game if you haven't already gotten it. For the love of God, $12.49 for the amount of enjoyment that I had for that game would be an absolute steal. 25% off Dishonored for $44.99. 50% off of Chivalry Medieval Warfare, $12.49. Dawn of War 2, 75% off at $9.99. Dead Island, 66% off at $6.79. Pretty good game, but gets really stale near the end. I would recommend getting it and playing it in co-op. It's still pretty fun. Dragon Age Ultimate Edition, 75% off at $7.49. If you haven't gotten this game yet, please play it. Saints Row the Third, full package, I already talked about that. Darksiders franchise is 50% off at $19.99. Darksiders is a fairly good game, and it's kind of like the Zelda of our era, if you want to look at it that way. And THQ Collection is $24.99. Far Cry 3, $49.99. Stalker is 75% off at $8.74. Anno 2070, and now we just go back to what I was talking about before. Call of Duty Black Ops 2 is 17% off at $49.79. Call of Duty Black Ops 2, much better than I thought it would be. Still having fun with it, although I don't play that much of it. And the last one is the Armor 2 Combined Operations Pack at $79.99 for 40% off. And then there's Ace of Spades for $7.99, XCOM Enemy Unknown for $37.49, and Skyrim for $39.99.
Yes.
Yeah. And that's everything. There's another 20, isn't there? Oh my god. Okay, screw it. No. I refuse. Oh god. This has been a long show today. I think I've been mentally drained. I think I've been What?
We still have 20 minutes.
Jackass, we have 15 minutes. We don't have 20 minutes.
Is this 20 minutes for me? Oh, wait, one thing. Maybe we should talk about games we recommend.
Games we recommend?
Yeah, what games
but
we
Texas,
recommend
we're
people to
doing
buy?
that next show. Yes, quite. People already know what we're doing for next week, or they should have guessed by now. It's like, wow, it's the end of the year on a gaming radio show. I wonder what they could be talking about. Herp-a-derp-a-derp. Oh, God. Yeah. But as for the games out of this entire list that I'd recommend for, like, the Steam sales, like, hang on, I'll go to the store here. What would I recommend? I can't recommend Chivalry yet, because I haven't played the damn thing. Saints Row the Third I recommend. Dragon Age I recommend. Stalker, I haven't played it. Mountain Blade I definitely recommend. Killing Floor I recommend. The Walking Dead I recommend. I will recommend it till the end of my days. It is a fantastic game. Dishonored I recommend.
Bastion's having a sale too.
Is it? Nice. Yeah. If you haven't picked up Bastion yet either, get that. It's great. Best indie game of 2011. Probably the best game of 2011, really. And then there's Dead Island. I would recommend it, but only in co-op, because that's really where the game kind of shines. It gets really stale near the end. And when the beginning, it really feels more about survival. Near the end, it just feels more like, more zombies everywhere, blah, 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 blah. Okay. Dragon Age, the Ultimate Edition, I recommend that like you wouldn't believe. Far Cry 3, I haven't played it yet, because it's probably going to be getting gifted to me for Christmas, so yay! Although I hear it's amazing. I hear Far Cry 3 is amazing. So, pick it up at your own risk. Herp-a-derp-a-derp. Call of Duty Black Ops 2, I'd recommend if you're into it. What?
What was the game you said? Yeah, Far Cry. It actually have a level editor too.
They do.
So you can design. So you can design the whole island the size of the original map.
Uh-huh.
With their own dev tools.
Oh yeah.
That's nice.
And it will be fun. It is, you guys. I can't wait to
Only if Valve did that for us too. That would be amazing.
Here we go again with Valve. Okay. Dota 2 is 50% off as well. I actually have Dota 2 at the moment. I had it gifted to me. I really should try it. But Borderlands 2 I'd recommend. Other than that, I haven't played that much this year. That's pretty much everything, really. Yeah. Civ 5 is pretty much off, or it's only $14.99 at the moment. I'd recommend that too. Witcher 2 is 60% off at $11.99. If you haven't got that yet, get it. Good God. It's a fantastic game. The Witcher 2. Other than that, I'm not too sure. Yeah, that's probably everything, dude. That's probably everything I'd recommend right there. I'm not going to go through the entire list and just recommend games. That's just silly. We don't have time for that, and people don't want to listen to it. Okay, so let's actually talk about our very last article for the day, and it's really not an article, honestly. It's just Team Fortress 2 Mecha Update. Introducing the Mecha Engineer! Okay, anyway. So, you battle-hardened MVM vets think you've got that whole stopping murderous waves of robots thing figured out, huh? Well, recheck those figures, because the Robot Hordes has added a deadly new class to their clanking, soulless ranks, the Mecha Engineer! And as the incredible art above this paragraph illustrates, it will be over 100 feet tall! It will not. Do not worry, though, because it looks like Engineer will also be 100 feet tall! He also will not. It gives you a ton of new maps. It gives you a new map as well. New MVM map, the Big Rock. The Spalling Big Rock is the largest MVM map yet, which means the attacking robot hordes will have an extra long journey to reach the Manco base you'll be defending. And that sounds like the easiest MVM map ever devised. You're right! Merry Smithmas, everybody! Well, you would be right if Grey Man hadn't invented the deadly new Mecha Engineer class. These Grinch-like Smithmas cakewalk destroyers can skip huge areas of their path with their teleporting ability, and also teleport other robots forward instantly with their telling other robots about the teleporter ability. There are also 3 new weapons available to play as: the Rescue Ranger, shotgun for the engineer, the loose cannon, a grenade launcher for the demo man, and the vaccinator, a minigun for the medic. It's a shame it wasn't around when the swine flu was a thing. Season's greetings and the return of naughty and nice crates. Much like last year, there are 2 kinds of special crates in the world this Christmas season. The naughty crates contain this year's set of limited edition festive weapons, while the nice crates are full of new community winter themed items. The crates will only be available until January 3rd, 2013. So get your naughty and nice keys from the Manco store today and unlock them while you can. And that's everything. And that's everything. Oh my god. Whew. I need to stop talking like that. Get winded.
Your voice is gonna crack someday. It's just gonna disappear.
Yeah, it's gonna be like, and welcome to the. Yeah, it'll probably sound something like that. God. Well, we're pretty much done for the show, ladies and gentlemen. It is 4:48 p.m. recording this, 16:48 on the 24-hour clock. So, we're going to quickly plug some shit real quick, I guess. And by plugging, I mean not so much at all. So, if you want to see this episode, go to my YouTube channel at www.youtube.com/crazed something. That is www.youtube.com/crazed. CRAZED something. No spaces, all lowercase.
Wasn't Crazed
Okay,
Gladiator?
Texas, anything you want to plug? Huh?
Wasn't it Crazed Gladiator before?
No, it was always Crazed something.
Whatever. I have
Crazed
nothing to
Gladiator's
plug.
my Xbox name. You have nothing to plug? Alrighty then. Well, we're gonna do I guess we're actually leaving a little bit early here, but ladies and gentlemen, I hope you have a fantastic winter holiday, and when we come back, we'll be giving you our top 10 games of 2012 next year. Or, I should say, not next year, our top 10 games of 2012 when we do our show on the 31st of January. So, ladies and gentlemen, have yourself a fantastic winter holiday. I'm losing my train of thought here, Texas. We gotta end the show before I actually say something stupid. Have a fantastic Christmas holiday. Have a fantastic Christmas. That's all I need to say. Anything you want to say, Texas?
My mouth hurts. I've been laughing too much.
Your mouth hurts. I've been ranting this whole time. This is potentially the best show
you're
we've ever
used
done.
to it.
Texas is used to his mouth hurting. Ladies and gentlemen, I'll see you next time.